She doesn't deserve you. She's damaged goods. That was the first thing I heard as I walked toward the banquet room where my wedding rehearsal dinner was being held. My heels clicked too loud against the marble floor, my heart pounding harder with every step. I froze behind the half-closed door, and that's when I heard it again, my brother's voice. Liam. He said it so casually, like he was commenting on the weather. My fiancé, Cole, didn't even reply. Just silence, no defense, no outrage, just nothing. I didn't walk into the room. I stood there, gripping the gift bag I had brought for Cole's parents, while my stomach twisted into knots. My own brother, the one I helped out of debt, who had crashed on my couch for over a year, was standing there, tearing me apart like I was a stain on the family name. And Cole didn't say a damn word. Hi, I'm Mara. I'm 33. I'm a veterinarian, and I was supposed to get married in 3 days. I say supposed to, because after what I heard that night, everything changed. Let me rewind. After our mom passed away 5 years ago, our family slowly disintegrated. My dad fell into a depression, quit his job, and started living off his pension. Liam, my older brother, bounced between gigs and girlfriends, never holding down anything for more than a few months. I was the responsible one, the one who never complained, who always paid on time, who showed up. I stepped up because someone had to. When Liam got evicted, I let him stay with me rent-free. When his credit score tanked, I co-signed a lease for his car. When he needed a little help covering his student loans, I sent thousands, no questions asked. Because that's what you do for family, right? Apparently not, because despite everything I did, I was still the damaged one, the one unworthy of love, of happiness, of a future. That night at the rehearsal dinner, I didn't walk in. I turned around, got in my car, and drove to the waterfront where I sat in silence, staring out over the black waves. My phone buzzed nonstop. Dad, Cole, bridesmaids. But I couldn't bring myself to answer. My hands were shaking. My face felt like it was carved from stone. Cole didn't defend me. That silence said everything. You see, people think betrayal is loud, yelling, doors slamming, dramatic exits. But sometimes it's just a man you love sitting still while your own brother calls you broken. That's what gutted me. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I didn't throw anything into the ocean. I just sat there, letting it settle, letting the truth sink in. I wasn't just marrying Cole. I was marrying into a life where my voice didn't matter, where I could be belittled and no one would speak up, where even the people closest to me saw me as nothing more than the girl who paid the bills, who fixed the mess, who held everything together while they laughed behind closed doors. So I made a decision. I got up, I went home. And I started making a list of everything I had paid for, every account in my name, every favor, every cosign, every bill. And the next morning, I began quietly untangling myself from all of it. But that's part 2. Because the real twist, the one I never saw coming, was when I checked my bank account later that night and found a $3,400 charge from a luxury resort in Lake Tahoe, in Liam's name, and my card. I stared at the bank notification, my hand frozen in midair, coffee going cold beside me. $3,429.87. Lake Tahoe Resort and Spa. Charged to the emergency card I had given Liam 2 years ago. You know, the just-in-case-you're-ever-desperate card. The one I told him to only use for food or medication. He said he shredded it. He lied. My wedding rehearsal dinner had crashed and burned just hours earlier, and now this. At first, I thought maybe it was fraud. Maybe someone stole the number. So I called the resort. I asked calmly, "Can you confirm the guest name attached to this charge?" The woman on the line smiled, oblivious to the crack forming in my chest. "Yes. Liam Bennett and Sarah Collins checked in yesterday. Beautiful suite. Lakeview, spa package, champagne arrival. They're booked until Sunday." Sarah. His new girlfriend. The one he claimed was low maintenance. I thanked her, ended the call, and stared blankly at the wall. This was the money I had saved for our honeymoon. Cole and I had planned a modest trip, nothing flashy, just a week on the coast, maybe some sailing, something quiet. I'd worked extra shifts to afford it, skipped nights out, sold my old DSLR camera, and Liam had used it for a luxury weekend with a woman who didn't even exist in our family photos 3 months ago. It wasn't just betrayal, it was theft wrapped in entitlement, dipped in absolute gall. But it didn't end there. I opened my email, notifications, flight to Reno, confirmed. Couples massage, confirmed. Private wine tasting, confirmed. All under his name. My email, my card. I felt like the room was shrinking. I texted him, short and to the point. Call me now. He replied 10 minutes later with, Hey sis, can't talk. We're on a wine tour. He sent a smiley face. That was when something in me snapped. Not in a rage kind of way, more like a quiet, still kind of breaking. The kind where everything clicks into place, where you finally see people not for who you hoped they were, but for who they've been all along. I thought about every time I'd bailed him out, every late-night call, every, I swear I'll pay you back, every time Dad guilt-tripped me for not being there for your brother. I was always there, and now they were there, sipping Chardonnay, while I sat alone in a cold apartment, staring at the wreckage of what was supposed to be the happiest week of my life. That's when I opened my spreadsheet. Yes, I had one. Every expense I'd covered for Liam, color-coded and itemized. Rent, insurance, car payments, groceries, last-minute bailouts. I even counted the time he used my Amazon Prime for 5 months and ordered AirPods for work. Total, $27,840.16. And not one thank you card. Not one dinner he paid for. Not even a birthday text last year. That's when I stopped crying. I closed the spreadsheet, I stood up, and I started revoking access. First the emergency credit card, shut down. Then the co-signed car insurance, revoked. Streaming accounts, logged out and passwords changed. Utilities I had in my name for Dad's place, canceled. Even his phone line, cut. He was on my family plan. And then, I did the thing I never thought I would. I called Cole. He picked up on the second ring. Mara, I need to ask you something, I said, voice calm. Too calm. Okay? When my brother told you I didn't deserve you, why didn't you say anything? He went quiet. He stammered. I didn't want to make a scene. It's your family. I laughed. Actually laughed. You didn't want to make a scene, but you were fine with sitting there while I was humiliated. Mara, I didn't mean... Don't worry, I said. There won't be a wedding to make a scene at. And I hung up. But the real punch came 30 minutes later when Cole's mother called me. She asked if we could please reconsider postponing instead of canceling, because they already paid for the venue. After Cole's mom called to guilt me about the venue cost, I did something I never thought I'd do. I laughed. A deep, bitter laugh that came from somewhere I didn't know existed in me. Because that was it, wasn't it? Not one person, not Cole, not Liam, not even my dad, called to ask if I was okay. Not a single, I'm sorry. Not even a question about why I walked out. Just money, venue fees, appearances. I guess to them, I was just the ATM in a white dress. Well, not anymore. I pulled out a notebook, a fresh one. The wedding had been set for Saturday, which meant I had 3 days. 3 days to burn it all down. Step 1. I called the venue. Hi, this is Mara Bennett. I'd like to cancel the reservation under my name for this Saturday. The coordinator hesitated. Oh, but your fiancé's family confirmed yesterday. I'm the one paying. There is no fiancé. Cancel it. Then I called the caterer, the florist, the string quartet. Every contract had my signature, my card. Every vendor had been booked under my name. I canceled everything. And then, just to be petty, I requested a non-transferable cancellation notice so no one could rebook in my place. By the time I hung up, my phone was already buzzing. Dad, what are you doing? This is embarrassing. Liam. Seriously, grow up. Cole. We need to talk. I turned off my phone because I wasn't done. Next, I logged into the shared Dropbox folder we'd used for the wedding photos and planning. It had all the couple pictures Cole and I had taken, the save the dates, the table assignments. I deleted every single file. Then, I changed the password and locked the account. If they wanted a wedding, they could start over from scratch. That night, I went back to my apartment, poured a glass of wine, and sat in complete silence. For the first time in days, I felt peaceful until the doorbell rang. It was 9:47 p.m. I peeked through the peephole. It was Sarah, Liam's girlfriend. Alone. I opened the door just a crack. What do you want? She looked pale, nervous. She held up her phone. I think you need to see this. She stepped inside, and I watched her hands tremble as she pulled up a video. It was recorded that morning. Liam, in a living room, holding a glass of champagne, surrounded by a few people I didn't recognize. He looked smug, almost drunk on his own self-importance, and then he said, loud and clear, I told Mara she could have the vet clinic and the dogs. I'm taking the damn wedding. The room laughed. He continued, she's always needed to be the responsible one. It's her thing. But me? I was made for more. The spotlight, the attention. And let's be real. Cole was always a better fit for someone like me anyway. My stomach dropped. I hit pause. I turned to Sarah, stunned. What does he mean, better fit? She looked down. I didn't know either, until yesterday. Then she pulled out a folded envelope. Inside were screenshots, messages between Liam and Cole. Flirty, late night, ongoing for months. My knees buckled. I sat down hard on the couch, staring at the texts in disbelief. My brother and my fiancé, behind my back. For months. Sarah sat beside me, silent. And I realized, this wasn't just betrayal, it was war. They didn't just take my money, they took my trust, my future, my wedding. But they made one massive mistake. They underestimated me. Comment the number 2 if you want to see how Liam will pay for this. I didn't sleep that night, not because I was sad. That part of me, the part that used to cry over Liam's lies, or Cole's silence, was gone. What kept me up was something colder, sharper, focused, revenge. This wasn't just a broken engagement or a stolen wedding. This was a conspiracy, plotted by my own brother and the man I almost married. And now I had the proof. The texts, the video, the receipts. And Sarah? She became my unexpected ally. She'd left the resort early after Liam started bragging about how easy it had been to manipulate me. She said the moment he joked that even the ring was bought with Mara's vet money, something in her snapped. So now she was helping me. First, we went public, quietly. She forwarded the video of Liam's speech to my cousin, Rachel, who had been one of my bridesmaids. Rachel, bless her soul, had always side-eyed Liam, but never had proof. Now she did. Within 6 hours, the video had made its way through every family group chat. The caption? This is what Mara's been dealing with. Let's talk. By noon, I had 10 unread messages from relatives who hadn't spoken to me in years. One from my aunt simply said, "You deserved better." But that was just the appetizer. The main course? That came when I called the small business lawyer I'd worked with years ago during the clinic licensing process. I told her everything, how I'd co-signed Liam's car lease, how he was using my credit for his phone plan, how there were still bills in my name tied to their apartment. She asked for documents. I sent her a folder titled Proof of Parasites. Her words? We can build something real here. By the end of the day, she had drafted a formal demand letter for Liam to remove my name from everything within 30 days, or face legal action. She also prepared a cease and desist order for using my identity for any financial gain. I emailed the documents directly to Liam, and just for fun, I CC'd our dad. By 5 p.m., my phone exploded. Liam, what the hell is this? Dad, We don't air family problems like this. Liam again. You're overreacting. We didn't do anything illegal. Cole. Can we just talk? Number no, we couldn't. Because I wasn't done. I went to the wedding venue the next morning. Even though I'd canceled everything, I still had the reservation until Saturday. The coordinator gave me access to the bridal suite to retrieve any remaining items, so I brought props. I set up the room like a gallery, printed out the text between Liam and Cole, blown up screenshots, the spa receipt, the video transcript, all of it mounted on white poster boards, lined up against the mirrored walls. Right in the middle of the room, I placed a single chair, facing the display. Then I sent one group message. To Liam, to Cole, to Dad, to Cole's parents, to my own extended family. If you're still planning to show up on Saturday, I suggest you come early. There's something you all need to see. But none of that was the real twist. That came Friday night. I got a call from my lawyer. She was reviewing some of the documents I'd submitted about Liam's financials. She paused, then said, Mara, you mentioned you never co-owned any property with your brother, right? Right. Then you need to sit down. Apparently, 6 months ago, Liam took out a loan using my name, a $45,000 personal loan, with forged signatures. It had been slowly draining my credit score, masked by the other accounts I'd let him access. I had no idea. I stood in my kitchen, hand shaking, heart racing. He didn't just betray me, he committed fraud. The wedding day arrived with sunshine and silence. No music, no flowers, no guests. Just a few confused family members wandering into the venue lobby, expecting love and unity, only to find betrayal pinned to poster boards like an exhibit in a courtroom. I arrived an hour before the chaos, not in white, not in mourning, but in a simple black suit, confident, unapologetic. The bridal suite looked exactly how I'd left it, one chair in the center, surrounded by screenshots of Liam and Cole's messages, receipts of stolen funds, and the transcript of that infamous video. Some people gasped, others just shook their heads in quiet disbelief. Then Liam walked in. He looked rattled. His hair was messy, shirt wrinkled, eyes bloodshot. Behind him was Cole, pale and stiff, like a man walking into his own funeral. Cole opened his mouth, but I raised a hand. Number, you two had your stage. This one's mine. I stepped forward and handed them both envelopes, one to each. Liam opened his first. It was the official notice from my lawyer. Formal language, legal terms, a demand for full repayment of the $45,000 loan he fraudulently opened under my name, plus interest, plus legal fees. He went pale. This is a joke. I didn't flinch. Number. The joke was thinking I wouldn't find out. Cole opened his envelope. Inside was a neatly folded letter. It simply said, "You don't get to rewrite history. I may have loved you once, but you'll regret underestimating me more than you'll ever regret losing me." He blinked. Speechless. I turned to the small group now watching from the doorway. My father, 2 aunts, Rachel, even Sarah, standing silently in the back. I was never the problem, I said. I was the solution you all drained, and now the supply is cut off, forever. Liam stepped forward, his voice rising. You think this makes you look good? You're destroying your own family. No, I replied. You destroyed this family. I'm just cleaning up the mess. That was when the real high note came. As Liam tried to argue, 2 plainclothes officers walked into the suite. Calm, professional. They approached him. Liam Bennett? One asked. He hesitated. Yeah? You're being served a court summons regarding identity fraud and unauthorized use of financial instruments. Dead silence. He laughed at first. Nervous. This is a mistake. I didn't. But they had the documents, the timestamps, the email trails, everything Sarah and I had compiled, everything I had sent to the proper authorities 2 days earlier. His face crumpled. They didn't arrest him, but the summons was real. He'd have to appear in court. And if he lost, which he would, he could face criminal charges, garnished wages, and a permanently stained record. He looked at me like I was a stranger. And maybe, to him, I was. Because the version of Mara who let things slide? She died the night he stole my wedding. Cole left without a word. No apology, no final plea. My dad tried to chase after me, calling my name. But I didn't turn back. Not once. And in the weeks that followed, I rebuilt. Quietly, steadily. The wedding money, what was left, went into a down payment for my dream. A new veterinary clinic by the coast. A small place. Peaceful. Mine. Liam's credit tanked. His car. Repossessed. Cole moved to another city. Last I heard, he was trying to find himself. As for me, I stopped checking my phone with dread. I stopped being the family lifeline. I started choosing myself every day without guilt, because sometimes the only way to find peace is to walk away from the people who profit from your silence. And the only way to win is to make sure they never see you coming. Comment the number 2 if you think Liam got exactly what he deserved, and subscribe if you want more stories like this one.